To direct and indirect causes of biodiversity loss in Pakistan, discuss the role of protected areas in biodiversity conservation. Explain how forest and rangeland habitat is related to wildlife management and conservation. 2012-2013 Short Notes, Forest Biography. 2013 Define curving and how would you classify curving? What are the methods of setting up the curves? 2014 There has major change in the biodiversity in Pakistan. How can this be minimized in order to protect the biodiversity? 2014 Wildlife. What measures shall you take to promote farm-friendly wildlife in agricultural ecosystem? What role can agroforestry plan in this regard? What role is this farm-friendly wildlife expected to play in our farming system? 2000 How will you attract capital and intellect from private sector for conserving natural habitats for the promotion of wildlife in various regions of the country? In case you succeed in your efforts, in what specific ways will you like this newly generated capital and intellect to serve the cause of wildlife promotion in the country? 2002 Short Notes, Fundamentals of Wildlife and National Park Management. 2003 How wildlife play its role in propagation and conservation of vegetation species. What are essential features of wildlife sanctuaries? 2009 Write the factors responsible for drastic decline of wildlife in Pakistan along with brief discussion of principles of sound wildlife management. Also give and justify your suggestions that how wildlife can be promoted in the country. 2011 Discuss in detail wildlife and natural park management with special reference to Pakistan. 2013 Write the factors responsible for drastic decline of wildlife in Pakistan along with brief discussion of sound wildlife management. Also give your suggestions that how wildlife can be promoted in the country. 2013 What are direct and indirect causes of biodiversity loss in Pakistan? Discuss the role of protected areas in biodiversity conservation. Explain how forest and rangeland habitat is related to wildlife management and conservation. 2013 Natural Park Management. Short Notes, Fundamentals of Wildlife and National Park Management. 2003 There are more than 21 national parks of Pakistan. Give detail of bioecology or the most important park. Discuss endangered species in this part and steps to be taken for amelioration or conditions of the parks to make it important in ecotourism. 2010 Forest Thinning. Short Notes. Thinnings. 2001 What is meant by forest thinning? What is its silvicultural and economic importance? 2003 Grazing. Short Notes, Silvograzing. 2000 Short Notes, Agrograzing. 2001 2011 Short Notes, Tethered Grazing. 2003 Short Notes, Grazing Capacity. 2007 Livestock provides with many services to the mankind. Evaluate status of grazing animals of range lands in Pakistan. Discuss problems of grazers in these land and measures to overcome the problems in enhancing livestock production. What are prospects of increasing agro-grazing in Punjab, Pakistan? 2010 Short Notes, Forage Forestry, Forest Grazing. 2011 Define carrying capacity of a grazing land. How it is determined practically. Write your procedure stepwise. How many sheep can be allowed to graze on 500 hectares of grazing land if weight of green forage per quadrat was 2 kg and it contained 70% moisture contents? Size of the quadrat used for sampling was 1 by 1 square meter and grazing allowed was 50% respectively. 2011 Forest or Forestry in Pakistan. Name various forest types of Pakistan. Describe in some detail the one which, in your opinion, has utmost watershed value. What changes shall you propose for its betterment? 2000 Mangrove forests of Pakistan and marine fauna. 2001, give a brief of the major recommendations of Forest Sector Master Plan of 1993. Will it lead Pakistan to a timber-cum-fuel surplus status by the year 2018? If not, why? 2002, how should Gov. of Pakistan proceed to establish and promote commercial ranching in high-potential subhumid regions of the country? 2003, short notes, major hazards to Pakistan's forests. 2003. How can agroforestry invigorate our ailing farming systems? 2003, how can forestry come to the rescue of our degraded environment? 2003, what are the prospects of enhancing recharge of underground water reserves in various valleys of Baluchistan? What line of action will you propose? 2003, compare roles of PFI and of agricultural universities in popularizing forestry education and forestry consciousness in the country. 2003, what are major environmental problems of Pakistan? How could knowledge of forestry help in combating these problems? 2005, what are different temperate zones of Pakistan? Relate different forest types of Pakistan to these temperature zones. Give correct binomial nomenclature of major species representing each forest type in this respect. 2005, describe selection corpus system. Which forest type of Pakistan is being worked out under this system and why? 2005, how far are mangrove forests threatened by reduced downstream flow of Indus? Justify if such apprehension is a reality or a myth. 2006, define forest ecosystem. Discuss critically threatened ecosystems of Pakistan. 2007, name the most productive rangeland of Pakistan. Describe its carrying capacity, rainfall, topography, vegetation and constraints. 2008, Pakistan is a forest-deficient country. Describe the key factors responsible for scarcity of forest resources in the country. 2008, discuss phytosociology and structure of Himalayan forests from different climatic zones. Pakistan. 2010, arid wildlands in Pakistan. 2010, with respect to climate, vegetation, soil, wildlife, topography and other physiographic features. Discuss briefly but comprehensively different types of forest found in Pakistan and also mention their contribution in wood production. 2011, analyze the present and future situation of forestry in Pakistan and discuss the reservations, reasons due to which farmer community is reluctant to adopt agroforestry in Punjab. Support your answer with appropriate figures and sound arguments. 2011, what are major components of agroforestry systems? Discuss the role of important tree species used successfully in agroforestry programs in Punjab, Sindh and KPK. 2012.